Hello, friends, and welcome back to the another amazing brand new live stream, guys. So, guys, let me say this clearly and upfront. Neutrality might sound noble, but in the moments like this, leadership is judged not by the calm words alone, but by timing, moral clarity, and instinct. And this week in Parliament, Anthony Albanese finally stopped absorbing punches and decided to throw a few back. Now, as someone who watches the Australian politics very closely through the lens of an Australian mindset, this movement matters more than the people think. After the Bondi tragedy, Albanese looked wounded, hesitant, almost paralyzed by the weight of expectations, and critics weren't gentle. Former prime ministers, opposition leaders, and even victims' families demanded the answers and also the apologies, speed. And so, guys, here is my honest take on that. The criticism wasn't just political opportunism. It reflected a public hunger for the visible leadership in moments of national trauma. Yes, that's correct. When Albanese invoked Port Arthur and Bali, he was making a fair historical point about unity. But history doesn't repeat neatly. Bondi landed in a different social climate, one charged with the identity politics, anti Semitism fears, and social media outrage cycles that didn't exist back then. Saying we didn't politicize tragedy before. It sounds good, but it doesn't erase today's expectations. Where Albanese stumble wasn't empathy, it was urgency, and taking weeks to call a royal commission created a vacuum, and politics hates the vacuums. Others will always rush in to fill them, and now here is where I will give him credit. And this is where my view gets less fashionable. Because this week showed a more effective Albanese, not perfect but pragmatic. He dropped the racial vilification clause and split the omnibus bill and negotiated with the Greens, extracted concessions from the Liberals, and still walked away with the gun reforms and hate law amendments passed. So, guys, that's not weakness, that's governing within reality. In our political culture, we understand this well. Leaders survive not by moral understanding alone, but by reading the room and adjusting without losing the core. Albanese did that late, but he did it. The opposition demanding a theatrical apology missed the point. Repeating sorry on cue doesn't automatically equal the accountability. Action does. And on action, this parliament delivered more than the critics want to admit. The coalition's internal splits, the nationals abstaining, the shadow of Pauline Hanson looming in the background. These aren't signs of a confident alternative government. They are a signs of a fragmented one. And Albany's living parliament with most of what he wanted isn't an accident. It's an experience in kicking in under pressure. But let me blunt with you guys. And this is where I step out of the analyst mode and into the opinion. Australians don't just want the competence anymore, they want conviction they can feel. If Albanese wants the trust restored, he can't just manage the crisis. He has to emotionally own them faster. If and leaders are expected to arrive fast, speak clearly, and absorb the anger upfront, not weeks later in the parliament. That lesson applies here too. So, did the Albanese fight back successfully? Politically, yes. Morally, partially. The coming weeks will decide whether this was a turning point or just a pause in the public disappointment. Leadership isn't about winning question time, guys. It's about whether the people feel steadier because you are in charge. And that's the real test. And it's the one he is still talking about now. So, guys, thank you so much for joining in today. If you are watching it as a replay, give it a thumbs up if you like this breakdown. And also let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think on Albany's actions? Was he quick or he got too late? And also subscribe to our channel for such amazing breakdowns. Thank you.